Saints, there is no place like a dome. Out of their last 10 games against the Bucs under the Teflon, Tampa Bay has won just one in 99. You get the breakdown of this national game next on Bucs Sunday. Good morning and welcome to Bucs Sunday, a pivotal division game for the Bucs and a chance to erase the memory of a home opening loss. The Saints are on the line for Jon Gruden. We've got a packed half hour, including Rich McKay's thoughts on that Warren Sapp, Mike Sherman showdown. Monty Kiffin talks about what he goes through gearing up for the same team twice. Sean King is promoted to number 2. And to get an inside look at a coach still wearing the uniform, offensive tackle Lomas Brown. Now, Jon Gruden breaks the season down into quarters, and if the Bucs beat the Saints, the third quarter of the season undefeated. It'll be the only quarter of the season they haven't had a loss, and this morning on Just Gruden, he talks about trying to pull that off when he saw the schedule.
Well, you know, we have taken care of business at home. That was a big goal that we had. We had a difficult stretch on the road, regardless of who people perceived that we were playing. We felt coming back in November with 3 home games and a bye week, we had to play great football and win these 3 games. And I think our team responded. And here as we enter the home stretch, we have put ourselves in a good position. But as we've said all along, it's not where you line up, it's where you wind up. And I think our players are genuinely enthused about what they've accomplished, and they respect what they have to do now.
All right, so take a look at the NFC South. The Bucs, with that league best record, are looking to send the Saints to their 3rd straight loss. Atlanta has pushed past New Orleans in the standings. They're on the road in Minnesota, and Carolina's in Cleveland. The Browns, of course, knocked off the Saints last week. Now, with the Bucs coming off that huge win over Green Bay, a victory that gave them complete control over the NFC, could the Bucs get caught celebrating too soon? Might there be a letdown knowing that the Saints are 2 games behind them in the standings? Well, as Kevin O'Donnell tells us, inside the huddle, the Bucs say there's not a chance.
Come on, Cozy Coleman, what do you got today? Get the rhythm of these formations. Now, let's go dance the weak left zoom short. I'm not going to be real crazy.
It's the rematch the Bucs have waited nearly 3 months to play.
This is a team that came in our house and beat us, and you want to do something about that.
What would you call it, revenge? Revenge, payback, whatever you want to call it, yeah. Use all those terms.
The day is here now. I mean, I think we got to realize that it's a lot riding on this game. You know, it could push us out farther in the division, push us out farther in the NFC race, too, for home field advantage. So we got to go in and play.
While the loss to the Saints on opening day was 12 weeks ago, the feeling from that game is very much on the players' minds. Not only for the obvious reasons, but mainly for the motivation it created.
That was a major reality check for us starting out. And I think we was able to channel that emotion and use that energy to propel us into a nice little streak starting the season out.
They gave us a wake-up call, and I think that's what made us a better team.
Along with avenging the opening week stunning defeat, the Bucs realized that beating the Saints carries a much greater reward.
We know how big it is. Last year we seen what happened when we went up to Philadelphia, and we felt like we was a better team than Philadelphia, but you know, the variables ended up factoring in the decision.
We control our own destiny. We play the teams we need to play to get where we want to be, and to get, if we want home field advantage, we play the Green Bays, we play the New Orleans, we play the Atlantas, you know, so we play the teams that's in the NFC that we need to beat.
Winning in the Big Easy won't come easy, though. It's been a Superdome struggle for Tampa Bay. In their past 10 trips, the Bucs have returned home the victors just once.
All right, pound the rock. You've heard head coach Gruden say it. You've heard the Bucs repeat it. Now you can see it. The rock, still not broken, now has a locker room presence.
The theme early on in the first quarter by Rod Marinelli, it's something he's talked about for a long time, is pounding the rock. And, you know, it's a metaphor for just, you know, keep chiseling away, and eventually it will break. It may not break the first time, it may not break the 100th time, but if you keep pounding, eventually it will crumble. And it's been a rallying cry for us.
Well, we opened up the doors to the public. We charged admission. We brought fans in to come in and touch the rock and pound it with us. Now, I don't really know. You guys, with that rock, you know, I don't know how it gets places, but McFarland works in mysterious ways.
Is that something you travel with?
I don't know if it's going to make the road trip to New Orleans. I wouldn't go that far, but it's just a visual stimulus, a reminder for us all, and some guys really are getting into the rock.
Now, from the top with Rich McKay.
All right, and as usual at this time, Rich McKay, the GM of the Buccaneers, joins us right now. And Rich, I guess the first thing that everyone's been talking about essentially all week long, the Warren Sapp incident. The NFL ruled on Monday that it was a legal hit. There will be no fines, no suspensions. What did you think about the whole thing? Not only the hit, but also Sherman running Sapp down after the game.
Well, I view the hit as a non-issue. It's definitely a legal hit by anybody's definition. The bottom line on the hit, though, is a player got injured, and because of that, it's created a lot of stir. There's always emotion at the end of the game. A lot of things can happen at the end of the game. I've never seen that where a coach actually approached another player. I'm not sure Mike would do it again. I respect his position in being angered and trying to protect his player, but I'm not sure he would do it again because it's not the right necessarily environment. I'm sorry the kid got hurt, but by the same token, Warren played it purely within the rules, and had that hit happened to Warren or someone else in a legal fashion like that, it might have led SportsCenter, if you know what I mean. I mean, that's the type of hit it was. The result's not good. By the same token, Warren didn't do anything wrong.
You're saying, and I think I would agree with you there, that if he gets up and walks away, Clifton walks away, all of a sudden people are just saying, man, that's a heck of a hit, and they're moving on.
And you guys are showing that on your clips, and that's what a focus is, and it's just a shame that the results of the hit was the kid got injured.
Brad Johnson actually did miss the entire first quarter after the opening series with that cut in his eye. That had to cause you some consternation.
Well,
watching him work on his,
It's always, you don't know what that's going to be. You don't know what it might be. And in Brad's case, you know, I know he's the ultimate tough guy, so I know he's going to go back in if he can right away. And we had to page our eye doctor, get him out of the stands, have him get down there and
Dr. Perez
give
heard
him the check. Yeah, and Ben had to say he was okay, and he went back in and did a nice job, managed the game well. You know, that's one of those games where we only had 140 yards passing, but it was a very important 140 yards.
You know, a lot of people, Rod Johnson came in, and I mean, you know, people are either high or low on Johnson, but it's a tough position to come in when you don't get a lot of reps during the week and suddenly you're in the first quarter.
Very hard, Chip, because the bottom line is everybody assumes that, boy, you're prepared, boy, you're ready to go in. But you are, but you're always thinking, I'm not going in. You know, you're never in that mode of, boy, I got to go in and I'm going to play. And Rob went in, actually made a pretty good throw to Keyshawn that got intercepted. And then from there, he took a sack where they brought both corners off the edge. We didn't block one of them, and he couldn't do much. So Rob was put in a very difficult position. I think had Rob played out the game, we'd have been fine. But it's always nice to get your starter back. He's taken all the reps all week. He's ready to go.
Sean King, does he slide to the number 2 spot?
Well, that's for Coach Gruden to decide. I think he'll look at it because Sean has done very well in practice and really picked the offense up well. He'll look at it, but I don't think he's lost confidence in Rob. I think, though, he will consider Sean.
All right, thanks, Rich.
Okay.
He did more than look at it. He made the move. Now, just ahead on Bucs Sunday, Brad Johnson has become irreplaceable. You saw that against the Packers. Chris Field breaks down the numbers. Plus, Monty Kiffin talks about what it's like to take on a team for the second time in the season. Does it give his defense an edge? For the second time this season, Monty Kiffin has taken on the Saints. In that first game, Deuce McAllister racked up over 100 yards rushing on 31 carries. Of course, now today's got that high ankle sprain. Aaron Brooks put the ball in the air 42 times. So this is a rematch that Monty has been waiting for. The question is, does he like these division games facing the team twice in one season? When you start seeing a team for the second time or the third time, does it get harder or easier to come up with a game plan for
I'll tell you what, this is the way it works. It's easier because we know them better now, you know, but in the same respect, they know us.
Right.
So it's kind of a catch-22, but I kind of always like the fact that we play somebody the second time, because they hurt us with this or that, you know, and I like the strategy of preparing for them, you know, and you put in a little different game plan and this and that, you know, and it doesn't always work, you know, but I like it. I actually like going against somebody the second time. Well, I know one thing. In the NFC Central, okay, we were there 6 years. We came here in 1996, okay?
Right.
And we had to go against Brett Favre all those years, you know. And they were rolling pretty good. And the Vikings were rolling really good, you know, there for 3 or 4 years with Denny Green. And Chicago came on good last year, you know. And Detroit even back to Barry Sanders, okay? Mm-hmm. Well, now, lo and behold, we leave that division, and now guess who we get? We get Aaron Brooks.
Right.
We get Michael Vick. But, you know, it's kind of like we go to the South, you know, it's supposed to be this weak conference, division or whatever, and all of a sudden it's a pretty good division.
Shotgun formation, Aaron Brooks. The snap looking.
Warren Sapp calls him the bull. His toughness epitomizes the Bucs playing through injuries and playing well. Chris Field catches us up on the accomplishments of Brad Johnson.
When he was poked in the eye against the Packers, Brad Johnson overcame double vision.
Brad Johnson, great play.
When he came back from cracked ribs to throw 5 touchdown passes against the Vikings, Brad Johnson was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Brad Johnson has thrown 5 touchdown passes.
The Bucs feed off their starting quarterback's toughness and his confidence.
He knows when to take the shots and when not to. You know, he said, well, I'll fight to live another day. We'll fight to live another day. Let our defense go out and give us the ball back. But when he has a shot to take it, he takes it.
Brad has proven time and time again when we offensive line and backs give him time to sit back there and navigate our offense, he'll get it done. He'll get it done under any circumstances against any defense. He'll get it done.
He gets it done in November. Brad Johnson leads the Bucs to 3 wins with 9 touchdown tosses, no interceptions, and a 116.7 passer rating. Brad Johnson distributes credit for his success, starting with Jon Gruden.
I played for some great coordinators in my time, but I think he comes along at a great time. His attitude's contagious, and I'm really, even in my 11th year, I'm learning. Every day I'm amazed by what I learned, and the simple things that I thought I knew back then, I really didn't. I mean, we got a lot of guys playing good right now. Obviously, our defense is playing tremendous, as always, and offensively, I feel like we're coming around. They're doing a great job up front. That's really where the game's won, is in your protections and your personnel. And sometimes it's making the play, but sometimes it's really not making the mistake, and that's what we're doing right now.
The guy who was doubted and earned his starting position under Coach Gruden, Brad Johnson, heads to New Orleans, approaching a milestone, his 50th career win as an NFL starting quarterback. Brad Johnson set 4 new team quarterback records last season. He's on pace to break a couple again, completion and interception percentages. He's also on pace to set a new touchdown record. Brad Johnson makes his mark with the Buccaneers. Chip.
All right, thanks, Chris. Next up on Bucs Sunday, GM Rich McKay joins us again, giving us his thoughts on a Saints team that has stumbled, dropping 2 in a row. And the sack race is on. Simeon Rice closing in on a team record. You get it next. Simeon Rice is just shredding his way through offensive lines right now. He leads the team in sacks with 11.5. In 4 straight games, he's had at least 2 sacks, which has happened only twice in NFL history. Here are the numbers. As a team, the Bucs have 34 sacks. Rice leads the way. Sapp has 7.5, and Ellis Wims has 4.5. The team record for sacks is 16.5, set by Sapp. Rice could break that record, and that may have Jon Gruden doing some more interior decorating.
I put Simeon Rice's poster up in my house last night. It's in a big poster of Simeon Rice in my living room now. I love Simeon Rice. I don't know if he's on the rise, or if he's soaring to new stratospheres. This guy is in the last 4 or 5 games, my goodness, he is rushing the passer. He's playing physically against the run. He's a heck of a football player, and I think he's right on it right now in terms of his game, and I think he realizes what he means to us, and his big play ability is very unique, and he's a rare specimen right now in this league.
All right, we are back with Buccaneer GM Rich McKay, and actually, if we take a look at the Saints now, they've stumbled a little bit. They've dropped 2 in a row, lost last week to Cleveland. Deuce McAllister did not play. The first time you guys saw him this season, he had 31 carries for 109 total yards. He will be playing today.
Yeah, and I felt like he was still running against us. It seemed like he's a great player. His size-speed combination, Chip, is really impressive. I mean, this is a big guy that is not just a straight-line player. And the other thing he did to us in this game is he broke a lot lot of tackles. You know, we got our arms on him, but we didn't get him down. And when you don't get a guy down, then all of a sudden with that speed, he brings the big play into play, if you will. And so Deuce will play against us, I'm sure. They're a big play team because with Aaron Brooks and the combination of the two receivers that can run, and then Deuce, you've got a chance at any time to go the distance.
Having Deuce back there, too, for Aaron has got to take some of the pressure off of him as well, right? Because
Certainly,
you got the running game up and going.
Certainly. And they like Keaton, the little running back they picked up in the offseason. They like him, but he's not Deuce McAllister, so certainly takes some of the pressure off.
Because when you see what happened to Brooks last week against Cleveland, made all kinds of mistakes, ended up throwing, what, 3 picks, I think, in the game?
Yeah, and a couple critical ones, especially the one at the goal line where they're driving down. They've got a chance to take the lead, and he threw the one ball you don't want to throw. But what Aaron Brooks has done very well, in my opinion, is every year he's gotten better. He's so much better now than when he came into the league. I'm very impressed with the way he's been coached, the way he's grown. I mean, he's a good-looking football player, and just last week I thought he regressed a little bit because he threw some picks that really were very costly from a timing standpoint.
Obviously, this is from you and Raymond James, but when you take a look at what he did against the Bucs, he put the ball in the air 42 times. Is that a lot in your mind, 42 throws?
Yes, that's a lot. That's a lot of throws because that means you're not getting quite as many runs. Of course, against us, though, you still got McAllister to get 31 runs. That's a lot of plays.
Yeah.
They had some success against us. We didn't. If you remember the game, we did not get off to a good start offensively, and we didn't get off to a good start defensively. They jumped on us. They had the lead. They were kind of riding out, and then we made a nice little comeback.
You know, Haslett's been talking about this is the time of year for the Saints to make the push because out of their 6 games left, 4 of them were at home. Now they've stumbled. They've lost 2 in a row. Just an abnormality, I guess, against Cleveland last week. What happened?
Cleveland played pretty well. I think Cleveland's a surprisingly good team to most people because I don't think they realize how good their defense is. Cleveland can play defense now. They got some guys to do it. And then if they get the rookie, if they get Green going, which they got going against New Orleans, then they got a chance. He ran for over 100 yards. Of course, there's Northcutt running a draw out of a kind of a trick formation. But Cleveland, I think, wins more games than people think this year because they've got a quarterback, they've got a good defense, and if they can get the running back going, then they're going to win some games.
Just quickly, too, the Saints are going to use that as motivation. This is a big game. It is. I mean, it really is.
In Chip Carter terms, this is a big game.
All right, Rich, thanks a lot. Fox's NFL Sunday hits straight up at noon. Let's throw it out to James Brown in Hollywood to find out what they're lining up for us. JB?
Hey, Chip, thank you very much, and I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Coming up on Fox NFL Sunday, our guys break down the big divisional battle tonight between the Buccaneers and the Saints. Then we'll cover the much-talked-about Warren Sapp, Mike Sherman controversy. The question is, was Sapp's hit on Chad Clifton a cheap shot, or was it just hard-nosed football? And finally, we'll have part 2 of Jimmy Johnson's interview with Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. These two friends did not part on the best of terms, but today it gets emotional as they bury the hatchet. All of that and more coming up on Fox NFL Sunday. But for now, let's send it back to Chip Carter.
All right, thanks, JB. Happy holidays to yourself. When the Bucs signed Lomas Brown in training camp, they were looking for a player to fill 2 roles, as an offensive tackle and a coach. Chris Field sits down with Lomas. You get that conversation next in our off-the-field segment. Head coach Jon Gruden. Actually, Lomas is a few months older. In his 18th NFL season, the 7-time Pro Bowler out of Florida adjusts. He adjusts to the role of player coach. Lomas Brown sits down with Chris Field in our off-the-field segment.
We'd like to talk to you about wisdom a little bit. Are you a wise man?
I like to consider myself a man full of some information.
What piece of knowledge or advice do you wish you could pass on to everyone?
I guess the one thing about the NFL is to know that it's not just all physical. I think in college, high school, you know, whatever, everybody tells you, oh, you got to be big, you got to be strong, you got to run fast to be in the pros. But I think they keep forgetting to tell all the guys that it's a mental game just as much as it is a physical game.
What one thing do you own that you should probably throw away, but you probably never will?
Ooh. Boy, you came with a good one. The only thing I could think of is because I started saving these little mementos is I have from my rookie year, no, I take that back, from my 3rd year, I have my original knee pads. Now, they're dry rotted, they don't smell too good and all that, but I say I'm gonna keep those, my thigh pads and my knee braces, I'm gonna keep those and kind of hang them up, you know, kind of as a souvenir.
You know that saying, you couldn't pay me to do that? What job couldn't they pay you to do?
Oh, man, you know what? Long snap. They couldn't pay me to do that long snapping because those guys, you got your head between your legs and you're getting pounded on by 300 pounders trying to run you over to get to the kicker or the punter. So that's one job title I would not want to have right there.
What's something that is a chore or a pain for most people that you actually kind of like doing?
Practicing, to be honest with you, because nowadays, this is my game day. My game day is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday now. It used to be Sunday, but now it's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So now this is probably about the only time I get to take out a little aggression, hit somebody legally, and do all the things like that without getting in trouble.
All right, that's a look at Bud Sunday. We've got the doubleheader this week on Fox at 1 o'clock. Atlanta takes on Minnesota. Then 4:15, the game in St. Louis and Philly. Remember, the Bucs take on New Orleans tonight at 8:30.
Is Warren Sapp. He just unloads on Green Bay's Chad Clifton. Now, Clifton is likely out for the year, and after the game, Packers coach Mike Sherman was indeed not happy.
In response to after the game, I just went up to Warren and told him that didn't appreciate the lick that he put on Clifton, and that was the extent of it, and the joviality that existed after the guy's laying on the ground with numbness in his legs and his fingers. I just thought that wasn't appropriate for any NFL player.
You heard me say something?
It looked as if you did, yes.
You see my mouth move?
I saw your head move.
Oh, my head is my language now. I'm a Neanderthal. I can't use my mouth. I don't use my mouth. I use my hands and body to talk now. I'm a Neanderthal. I'm sitting here telling you, I asked you, is that enough for you?
That's enough.
Thank you. Next. I'm telling you, if I was 25 without my kids on a conscience, he'd have got one tonight. He'd have got moving around the 30-yard line. I wouldn't have even thought about it.
Folks, now is your chance to get in on the debate. Today's Sprint poll question is, do you think Warren Sapp's hit on the Packers' Chad Clifton was just part of football or has no place in football? You can vote right now by logging on to foxsports.com or by using your Sprint phone with PCS Vision. Results will air next week. And let me just say this, coattailing on Warren Sapp's interview, there was no footage that we've seen anywhere talking about or suggesting the joviality that Mike Sherman was talking about, but the hit. We've had a week to talk about it and think about it. What's your attitude now?
Well, the sad part is that Chad Clifton is hurt. Nobody wants to see Chad Clifton hurt, including Warren Sapp. The question is not whether it was a cheap shot, it's whether it was really necessary 30, 35 yards away from the ball. The reality of the situation is this. If you're between the lines and you're on offense and a ball is thrown and it's intercepted, you better have your head on a swivel. Then there's the question of whether Mike Sherman was proper in seeking out Warren Sapp after the game. I like it. I think the Green Bay Packers like it. And in terms of Larry Bechtel saying the next time they play, they're going to cut him, the only revelation there is that he said it publicly.
He cuts him all the time anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, Howie, it was a legal hit. The thing that I didn't like, it was a blind intimidation hit. You know, Sapp saw that the action was 30 yards away, and he saw Clifton wasn't looking at him. And so he had a blind hit on him. You know, as far as Mike Sherman, I liked it. It was emotional. He backed his player. The only thing is, if I was going to confront Sapp, I'd want to have a bunch of bodies in between us.
Well, I said it was a legal cheap shot, and I guess I wouldn't be accurate if I didn't support what I thought. After a week of looking at it, it's an emotional thing with a young man's life is on the line, his livelihood, and so I disagreed with what Warren did. I didn't think it was necessary. It was uncalled for. And when he was asked, Warren Sapp was asked after the game, had that been, or during the week, had that been the quarterback Brett Favre, would he have done the same thing? The answer was no. He respects Brett Favre, but he evidently doesn't respect Chad Clifton.
Well, I think he views them as two different territories, interior line, quarterback.
So we've distilled it down to legal but unnecessary. All right, folks, Jimmy and Jillian are up next, and coming up, find out what makes Eagles safety Brian Dawkins one of the hardest hitters in the league. Here's a clue. He wants to be a superhero. And then we have a super interview. Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones settle their differences once and for all right here on Fox.
I think Jerry and I would have lasted longer if
our back's against the wall right now. We got to make a statement against Tampa.
2, 3, 4.
Fluffy cloud, pretty fluffy cloud, cotton candy in the sky. Oh, fluffy cloud, I cannot touch you, but you touch me. Oh, we're fast, we're physical, we tackle.
Ain't nothing easy in the Big Easy.
This is big, this is easy.
Get ready for a big game in the Big Easy. We have 68,000 plus in a sold-out Superdome, hoping the Saints can sweep the Bucs and get back in the race for the division title. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick. It's great to have you with us. The Bucs defense has all the numbers. They lead the league in interceptions. They lead the league in sacks, yards allowed, points allowed. In short, this could be one of the best defensive units ever. Their offense has been efficient, and it's getting better. That's why they're 9-2, the best record in the National Football League. But one of those losses came against the Saints. New Orleans' high-powered offense handled the Bucs that day. In fact, Deuce McAllister rushed for 109 yards. And if they're going to break a 2-game losing streak, Joe, they're going to need exactly that same kind of big offensive performance.
Well, Mike, Deuce may not have to get 109 tonight, but he's going to have to do a heck of a job and get pretty close of it to take the pressure off of Aaron Brooks. Jim Haslett went out and made a bold move when he traded Ricky Williams to the Miami Dolphins and decided to put the ball in the hands of Deuce McAllister. And he's delivered 6 100-plus yard rushing games. And then he goes out and he leads the conference coming into this weekend with 950 yards. He's got to be a big part and take the pressure off of Aaron Brooks. Aaron has tried to do a lot in the last couple of games, but he's managing tonight to be able to go out and spread the ball around. You can't be conservative against a defense that is this good. You're going to have to put points on the board. But heaven only knows, Paul, if you're the New Orleans Saints, how do you go about attacking a defense like this and putting points on the board when they're that good?
Well, New Orleans Tampa Bay proved how good they were against Green Bay last week, Joe. Unfortunately, Warren Sapp didn't get a chance to celebrate. Why? Because he made a great block that he had to explain all week. And the confrontation that he had with Mike Sherman, the head football coach of Green Bay, after the game. But he said, tonight, I will celebrate against this New Orleans team. If you ever watched him play, there are very few guys that play with his intensity and his passion. When we ask him about other defense, he says, great defenses have a motor. The New York Giants had LT. The Baltimore Ravens, they have Ray Lewis. He says, here in Tampa, it's me. I'm the motor. He said, I'm also the mouth. And tonight against New Orleans, you're going to see the mouth and the motor humming.
All right, thank you, Paul. Today is December 1st, the beginning of the NFL stretch run when championships are won and lost. Tonight, 2 contenders face off in New Orleans.
We got to take care of our turf. Our offense got to smack them in the mouth.
Going all the way! Can you believe it? You want to make it physical every single snap. This is big. This is easy. Boom!
I alone have the 5th freedom. The right to spy, destroy, and eliminate to ensure that American freedoms are protected. I am Sam Fisher. I am the Splinter Cell. Rated T for teen.
Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, the vet will see you now.
What do you care? You've got the goodness of Reese's peanut butter and milk chocolate. Get lost in a Reese's.
Happy anniversary, honey.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
There's something I gotta do.
Oh, yeah? What?
I love this woman! I love her!
What are you doing? Stop!
Okay, then I guess this will have to do.
Oh, my God. I love this man. I love him. I love him. I love him.
Enhanced TV presented by Mazda. You can enter for a chance to win an all-new Mazda 6 sports sedan or other great prizes. Check out ESPN.com or NFL.com now. Welcome back to the Superdome for the Bucs and the Saints. The Bucs paid a high price to get Jon Gruden from Oakland. 4 draft picks and a boatload of cash. But, Susie, it's paying off. Tampa Bay has the NFL's best record at 9-2.
But still, you have to wonder what Coach Gruden was thinking as his team was getting beat by the Saints in Week 1. Where did you think you'd be in Week 13?
Well, we knew we had a good team. We also knew we were going to get what we deserved, and we just had to get back to the drawing board, keep fighting, and keep pounding that rock.
Biggest story of the week was Warren Sapp, Mike Sherman. How important is it for a coach to get his players back like you did this week?
Well, it's very important. We just hope Chad Clifton's okay, and Warren Sapp's a great player. I don't want to tarnish his image in this league and what he means to it, but that's done. We got to play the Saints now, and that's a big thing.
Tonight, #1 defense against one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL. What do you think is the most compelling matchup within the matchup?
There's a lot of one-on-one matchups, but we got to play at our best tonight. The crowd's against us. It's going to be a great football game.
Most of the people in this place think the Saints are hungrier for this win. What's your take?
I don't know about that. We're pretty hungry. These guys that we have here, I will say, do step up and play big every night, and it's going to be no different.
Have a great night. And Mike, Warren Sapp adds that this is more than a statement. They have said privately that the road to the Super Bowl goes through Tampa. This is another step, and they owe the Saints big.
All right, thank you, Susie. MasterCard presents ESPN Skycam. Innovative technology on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Skycam provides some of the most unique and memorable images ever seen from angles no other single camera in the world can achieve. We're excited to bring it to you every Sunday night. And tonight is a game of huge importance in New Orleans.
Let me tell you something. We got to have this game, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be in the back of the heat, looking in. No doubt we're going to war tonight. We're going to war tonight.
I don't think there was a question of whether we were getting good advice or not from our old broker. We weren't getting advice.
My old broker. Unless I called him, he would never call me.
For a lot of years, I just tolerated that type of treatment, and then I decided I would move my money to Schwab.
This year, investors moved more than $30 billion to Charles Schwab.
I think Charles Schwab's actually almost the opposite of a Wall Street firm.
They treat me with respect.
Well, I think they just get it.
Come see why there's never been a better time for Charles Schwab.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Welcome back to New Orleans for the Bucs and the Saints. Tampa Bay controls the NFC South. A win tonight would virtually eliminate New Orleans and relegate them to wild card status. Atlanta hot on the heels of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Aaron Stecker is deep in their history. The Bucs have returned 1,572 kickoffs. They are 0 for 1,572. They have never returned one for a touchdown.
Well, Michael, knowing you, they're probably going to do it tonight because you put the jinx on free throws. You may just get one for them tonight.
You know, it's really not that far. it's not even 100 yards most of the time.
Toby Goen will kick it away. Huge game, particularly for New Orleans to get back in it, and for the Bucs to try to creep up on home field advantage. We're underway in the Dome. Stecker from the goal line. 1,573 without a touchdown. Steve Gleason the tackle.
Brad Johnson comes into this game a very efficient quarterback. Has more touchdowns than he had a year ago, even at this point. He's going to have his task set up for him because he's going up against Fred Thomas and Dale Carter, the two corners of the New Orleans Saints. I talked to Rick Venturi, the defensive coordinator of the Saints. He said, we will do as well as our corners will be able to hold up and get their offense off the field. So look for the ball to go outside, look for the corners and wide receivers to have their work cut out for them.
Pittman starts at running back. Keyshawn Johnson in motion behind Brad Johnson. And Brad Johnson throws on first down, complete to Keenan McCardell. Cedric Hodge, the linebacker, on the stop.
Well, with this offense, all you're going to see not all, but most of what you're going to see is all that short dumps, runs, screens. They don't go deep. They would like to, but they don't.
Well, Paul, the other problem he's had is the offensive line has been spotty. Kenyatta Walker's only in his second year. Dilger is a new tight end. Keyshawn Johnson's the only holdover. McCardle and Jaravicius are brand new at the wide receiver position.
And Jaravicius, the ex-New York Giant, is in there now in a 3-wide receiver set. Johnson with time out in the flat again to McCardle. He's got a first down and more.
Brad Johnson, I think, is the perfect quarterback for this offense. He's 33 years old. His maturity has shown up in the last 3 weeks where he's thrown 9 touchdowns and no interceptions. He's accurate. He gets rid of the ball quick. And what he's proven with the eye last week and the ribs a couple weeks ago is what he made the statement to Jon Gruden and his teammates is he's a tough guy. And boy, every guy loves to line up when your quarterback is tough.
Gruden said the quality of a quarterback's greatness is his toughness, and this is a tough SOB. Blitz coming. Sammy Knight, they love to bring him. Deep pass for Keyshawn, incomplete. Covered well by Dale Carter.
We were talking the other day, and, you know, when you talk about this defense of the Saints, they're a pretty good defense. Up front, they're very good, and they like their corners that they have. But when you look at Tampa's offense, there's no speed.
No.
There's no speed.
And that's the thing that these corners, that's what Thomas will take advantage of and Carter will take advantage of. Ken Irvin, the nickelback of the Saints, that's what they're going to do. They're going to lock down. I believe that Tampa on offense is going to have to run the football a little bit to set up some play action to get deep.
Alstott is now in there as the fullback, the multiple Pro Bowler, number 40. Fake the end around, now the screen. Pittman. Got one block, but not another. Crossed the 40, but taken down by Jay Bellamy and Cedric Hodge.
I tell you, it is such a tough play for the safety because the safety is going to have a big, old offensive lineman that usually weighs about 100 pounds more than you do. And then Jay Bellamy, that time, what he did is he got through, and he makes the tackle. Just an outstanding play.
You got to count on agility at that point, don't you?
and duckness. You got to learn how to duck.
3rd and 7. It is a zoo in here tonight. 4-man rush. Howard from behind, loose ball.
And the Saints have it. The Saints have it.
New Orleans football on the turnover.
Darren Howard just comes around the corner. There he is right there. He's just going to come right around the corner and get to Brad Johnson. There's no way Johnson has a chance. Look at the speed around the corner. Robin Oben doesn't stand a chance.
Charlie Clemens got the recovery, and check it, that was Charles Grant, my mistake. He gets the sack. The Saints get the football. Brad Johnson never saw it. Great break for New Orleans. They take over at the 29. They're already chanting Deuce. And McAllister is working with a bad ankle. Plunges forward to the 25. He didn't play a week ago. McAllister with 950 yards rushing, and he is an example, one of the few times where a trade really worked for both ball clubs. They got rid of Ricky Williams, got draft choices in return, gave McAllister a chance to start.
And after today, the Saints are going to get a higher draft choice because Ricky Williams went over 1,200 yards rushing.
He almost went over 1,200 today. 2nd and 7. Brooks, little flanker pass to Horn. And Horn can't go anywhere because of Brian Kelly. Wonderful tackle on the corner.
The biggest matchup tonight for this offensive line of New Orleans is Kyle Turley going up against Simeon Rice, who leads the National Football League with 11.5 sacks. The quickness, the speed. Simeon Rice told us yesterday, and I believe him, I'm the best defensive end in football today. And I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to argue.
Well,
there's some good ones.
But he didn't call on anybody being close.
And Hugh Douglas is pretty close, but Simeon's right there.
3rd and 5. Draw play. McAllister to the 15, first down.
You know what's so important about McAllister? He carried the ball on the first play. He carried the ball on the third play. He's been hurt. The question is he? Can he play? And what they need to do is show him. You watch him running up into this hole. He is walking straight, or running straight ahead. He's not trying to cut. But the question is, can he run? And he's already shown Tampa Bay Buccaneers that he can.
4 wide receivers. The veteran Jake Reed, number 86, checks in as well. Brooks from the 15. Short set and throws low and incomplete. Intended for Dante Stallworth. Dwight Smith was on the coverage. This will be strength against strength. The Saints offense, number 1 until a week ago when they had a disaster against Cleveland, 4th in the red zone. The Bucs defense giving up less than 24% of touchdowns when the team gets inside the 20. That's remarkable.
And it really wasn't the offense that was disastrous. It was Aaron Brooks, threw 2 interceptions and fumbled the ball when he got inside the red area. He has got to be the one that's got to protect the football down here on this offense.
Brooks fakes the draw play. Under pressure, and down he goes at the 16-yard line. Simeon Rice from behind.
Simeon Rice and Kyle Turley. We talked about the matchup just a couple plays ago. Here we go. 68 on 97. What's this? Look how quick Simeon Rice is. He goes to the outside and back in and makes the play.
You know what? I will defend Kyle Turley on that one. Aaron Brooks was forced to bring the ball down. That was a great job by the secondary of the Bucs. And when Brooks had to move up inside, Simeon took advantage of the opportunity. Boy, he looks like a
Spider-Man. He looks like Spider-Man.
Ready to go.
Comes out of the blocks in a heartbeat. Brooks, Rice again. Got him at the 31. Simeon Rice has 2 sacks each in his last 5 games.
What he said to us yesterday was this: you cannot outrun me. I have tremendous speed. He just showed speed and agility to get to the quarterback. What's the agility? Here's the speed.
The other thing he said that I thought was so important, he said, quarterbacks think that they can outrun me. That was a case right there of Aaron Brooks thinking that he could spin and outrun Simeon. He said, I love it when guys think they can outrun me.
They were within easy field goal range. Now Carney will have to try from 48 and hooks it wide. So the Saints get a great break early on the fumble, and 2 sacks pushes them back because of an NFL record by the sack man, Simeon Rice.
Just how deep is the new Chicago dish pizza from Pizza Hut? With a pizza this deep, what more could you ask for? How about a deep discount on a second pizza? Now you can get any medium pizza for the unbelievable price of just $2.99 when you order the Chicago dish. That's just $2.99 for your old favorite when you buy your new favorite at Pizza Hut. Go deep.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Man, it doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought me some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow.
Should change before we pick up the girls.
Okay.
Chevy Avalanche. It changes from a pickup to an SUV.
What are you doing?
Avalanche, like a rock.
In 1954, Paul Bear Bryant put 115 football players through hell. But those who survived lived to become champions. The Junction Boys, Saturday, December 14th, 9 p.m. on ESPN.
Simeon Rice now leads the NFL in sacks with 13.5 for the season. He's already had 2 tonight, back-to-back.
Well, he must have read what Jason Taylor and others did, because he was going into today, he was the leading sacker. Then he found out, well, I need 2 to take the lead. I got him. So,
and I don't think either one of them were Kyle Turley's fault.
Pittman runs into a wall at the 40. Let's check in with Susie.
Well, Mike, Brad Johnson off to a rough start. Did not want a repeat of week 1. He said he got really beat up, sacked 3 times, got hit 20 times, threw it away 13, and he points out they've continued to just beat people up. They're dangerous, they're unconventional, and he needs to do a better job identifying a very tricky defense.
Susie, I think Brad Johnson will hang in there longer than any quarterback I've seen in a long time. He is willing to take a beating in order to give a receiver one more step to get open. Unloads this one in a hurry to Keyshawn out to the 46-yard line.
You know, it's funny
down there by the nickelback Ken Irvin.
The funny part talking to Brad Johnson is defensively. We said, what do you think you could do to him? He says, well, we're not sure. We don't know what they do. So Joe said, well, what about cover 2? Well, that's not necessarily it. They just go everywhere, and they line up and they move, and they give you a different look every time they line up.
The term would be unconventional, I think, is a kind way to put it. Rick Venturi, their defensive coordinator, is one who likes to give Brad Johnson, as well as any other offense, a lot of different looks, a lot of people moving around, as you see.
3rd and 2. Johnson wants to throw for it. It throws incomplete, intended for Keyshawn at midfield.
Grady Jackson was in his face.
Joe, it has to be confusing for a quarterback when you locate a linebacker when you come to the line. He's on the far right side of the formation. By the time the ball is snapped, the same guy's on the far left side of the formation.
What happens is what you saw. It forces you to speed your throws up and takes you out of your rhythm. I think Brad will find his rhythm, but right now he's trying to rush throws out to get away from the pressure that the Saints are bringing.
Tupel will kick to Michael Lewis, who has more return yards than anyone in the NFL this year. The former beer truck driver telling everybody to get away from it. They punt the ball out of bounds. In a game that might hinge on field position, so far, the advantage has just swung to the Buccaneers after a 38-yard kick. 0-0 early in New Orleans. Warren Sapp and the #1 defense in football takes the field again.
Looking for something you can use this holiday? Turn to Tech TV for special holiday shows. The exclusive guide to the top 20 gifts, help and how-to. And now when you watch, you can win a $1,000 shopping spree at Best Buy or dream vacations from Expedia.com. For details, log on to TechTV.com and get something you really want this holiday. Tech TV, available now on.
I just want to make this as simple as humanly possible. You can do digital video recording. Bottom line, you can do digital video recording with this. You can copy your VHS and your home videos to CDs, and you can do digital recordings of home videos, satellite TV, music CDs, DVDs, VHS, all to see.
Ticket.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, but you know that. You've seen the movie 87 times. Tune to the 100s. Check out Blockbuster pay-per-view movies. You might enjoy a film that you don't already know the words to. Seriously. And don't call me Shirley.
Flip through the 100s and choose from over 60 of the latest releases each month on Blockbuster pay-per-view movies. Only on DirecTV.
ESPN Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Heineken. It's all about the beer, Heineken. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be. And Pizza Hut, go deep with the new Chicago deep dish only at Pizza Hut. Jazz coming from Armstrong Park, named after the legend Louis Armstrong.
Well, I bail out of here. I want those guys.
Oh, yeah. Don't want that hat, though.
No, I want those guys to play a little bit. I'm not going to hear it, but I want him to play a little bit.
The Saints so far minus 1 yard in total offense. McAllister on the toss, instead takes it up the middle. Last week, after a Brett Favre interception, Warren Sapp leveled Packer offensive tackle Chad Clifton. The Bucs won the game, and afterward, Packer coach Mike Sherman and Sapp had a heated exchange. Said Sherman later, maybe I overreacted, but I thought it was kind of cheap. Sapp said if I was 25 and didn't have kids or a conscience, we'd have gone at it. It's a good thing he has kids and a conscience.
I'll tell you, it was a good hit.
Brooks, good play fake, now under pressure. And throws it away. Warren Sapp's block in last week's game was the top story in the NFL. We asked him about the fallout afterward.
I've hunted 35 different quarterbacks and got them on the ground, over 70 sacks. And at no time in this league I've ever been called a dirty player, a cheap shot, or anything. And that was the one most hurtful thing, that a perception of me is turned into I'm a dirty player. Wow. I really don't see that.
I don't think he's a dirty football player. And to be honest with you, if anything, it'll make everybody aware if there's an interception, everybody's got to keep their head on a swivel.
There is no way Warren Sapp is a dirty football player. No way.
You know, that just to put this whole thing to bed with Warren Sapp.
There was no play. False start. Offense, number 68. 5 yards remains, third down.
Mike Carey, our referee.
Warren Sapp is not the kind of a football player that goes out and tries to intentionally hurt anyone. And, you know, he talks about linemen coming at him. That's part of the game. I think throwing blocks on interceptions is part of the game. As a quarterback, you were less concerned with trying to tackle somebody on an interception than you were protecting yourself. And I think the awareness for everybody in the league went up. And I echo what Jon Gruden said. All you can do is hope that Chad Clifton's going to be okay.
3rd and 11. Pocket collapsing. Here is Sapp after Brooks. Can't get him. Nice block downfield, but those Bucs just swarm. Crowd wanted a late hit out of bounds, but they won't get it. Rondé Barber led the charge over there. One last thing about Warren Sapp. I thought Tom Jackson made a perfect point this morning. He said if Clifton had not been injured, nobody would have said a thing about that hit, and he's absolutely right.
But you know what? I admire Mike Sherman for sticking up for his football player. The way Mike saw it, he didn't feel it was necessary, and he felt it was cheap. And I admire him an awful lot for standing up for his players.
Go along with that one, too. Toby Goen to punt to Carl Williams. Returnable kick. Williams to the 36. And is buried.
And a
Jim
flag.
Haslett said, we have great speed on special teams. We can really cover kicks. And there's a marker down as well. It looked like an obvious block in the back on the return. Mike Carey, one of the best officials in the league, really controls the game.
This game is looking an awful lot like the first time these two played. It's back and forth. It's very physical. This is a game where you have to get points when you can and protect the ball. And I think the Saints have to try and be able to run Deuce McAllister a little bit more to control that defense. Because guys like Brooks and Sapp.
There was no foul on the kicking team. All of the action was legal. First down. Timeout.
It was a legal mugging. I didn't realize muggings were legal anymore.
Any of these.
When I grow tired of you, never my love, never my love. You wonder if this heart of mine will lose its desire.
Platoon, Wall Street, Hot Shots. Somebody loves Charlie Sheen. Oh.
Can I write a check for these?
Can I see some ID? I'm gonna have to call the bank.
Is this gonna take long?
Yes.
How's it going?
This doesn't look like you.
It did when I came in here.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
How's it going?
We have a wonderful customer here at Walmart who is also the town Santa. He came up with an idea called Ho-Ho Express. Santa raises money throughout the year with help from us here at Walmart. These are children that might not have any presents under the tree. They could spend their money on themselves, but most of the time they buy for their family.
I got my mom a candle.
It's them being able to put something under the Christmas tree for them to open on Christmas Day when they wouldn't have anything.
I believe in Santa.
It's just wonderful to give them a Christmas like that.
I know he's real.
Ice. One day you find you're up to your waist in it. If being in it buys one more day on top of it, fill up the tub. Fill up the tub.
0-0 first quarter. Bucs take over at their own 38-yard line. One of Jim Haslett's concerns, the play of McAllister. In 5 games, he's had 2 100s against this New Orleans defense. Pittman gets the call, shakes a tackle, flag is down. Pittman breaks loose, but it looks like this will come back.
What a play by Dale Carter, number 21. Dale Carter is not necessarily a big guy, but Kenyatta Walker, number 67, goes out to block him, and he comes up and just stops Pittman from getting outside.
And Kenyatta Walker's the guy I think that was holding.
He just fell on him.
Personal foul, major face mask on the offense. Number 67, 15 yards, is still first down.
Well, that's holding. If you're holding a face mask, that's holding. It's Kenyatta Walker.
This offensive line has struggled all year. Really, one of the reasons Michael Pittman doesn't have bigger numbers. But you look on that line, and Kerry Jenkins is one guy you have to tip your hat to. He's in there playing with a broken bone in his leg and a fractured left eye socket. You just can't get him out of the lineup. First and a mile. Pittman. Now it's second and a mile.
One of the things that the Saints have to be careful of is feeling like second down and 20 is not the kind of yards you want to be aggressive on. You have to stay aggressive like this, even though it's long yards. How many times have we seen coaches go and rush 3 and drop 8, and all of a sudden it's a 15-yard completion and it's 3rd and 3? It's not in Rick Venturi's nature, the defensive coordinator of the Saints, I think, to back off. This is all about pressure for the Saints.
Well, the problem there was they were trying to block Norman Hand. They couldn't move him anywhere at all, and he's in the hole.
And he just swallowed Pittman.
That ought to do it.
There's 2 things that play into why this was a penalty. I believe the noise is a little bit of a problem, but more importantly, Jon Gruden's offense, and if you can get a shot of that card of his, has a lot of verbiage to it. So by the time he gets it into Brad Johnson and Brad relays it, they aren't even out of the huddle yet, and there's going to be 16 seconds by the time they get to the line. They shift a lot, so it takes time. It's important at this end of the field that you get the plays in quickly to your quarterback.
Now it's second and 28. Johnson looks to his second man, completes it again to Keenan McCardell, the former Jaguar, one of the most prolific receivers around, picked up as a free agent acquisition in the offseason.
Now 3rd down is makeable. 3rd down is makeable. You need to pick up half. Here comes Keenan McCardell.
McCardell, the last 2 years, 93 and 94 catches for the Jaguars. Johnson double pump, too far for McCardell again.
Joe was looking at me.
Will have to punt.
Joe was looking at me funny when I said it was third is makeable. I was thinking, you know, if it would have been 3rd and 28, it would have been makeable. With 3rd and 14, you still can't.
I like your optimism.
But
I like that optimism.
I just don't see too many plays that are 3rd and 14, though. Do you?
No, I don't want to try and turn that into a makeable one.
There are more than 3rd and 28. Tupa to kick to Lewis, who has a punt return and a kickoff return for a touchdown this year. Got them both in the same game against Washington. Line drive kick. Lewis from the 15. And takes it out across the 25 to the 26-yard line where Casey Crawford brought him down, and there's a flag on the play. Back near the line of scrimmage.
Holding during the kick by the receiving team, number 37. After this is the goal, they retain possession. First down. Timeout.
It's the kind of game the Bucs wanted. They have allowed only 7 yards to the New Orleans Saints offense.
If it wasn't for football on Thanksgiving, I'd be sitting here talking to Uncle Larry all day.
Got your nose. Come on now.
Before it can be a favorite old movie, it has to be a favorite new movie. Ready to see something new? Turn to Blockbuster pay-per-view movies.
Something draws near. I can feel it.
Experience the Academy Award-winning epic that took the world by storm.
The ring must be destroyed.
Now showing in the new extended version.
They are coming.
The Lord of the Rings. Now playing on Blockbuster pay-per-view movies.
Her record in the ring and her beauty got her on the cover of Playboy. Her domination of the sport got her on the cover of Sports Illustrated. On December 6th, Christy Martin and Mia St. John clash in a live pay-per-view event from the Pontiac Superdome. The Battle of the Cover Girls. The WBC Women's Pound for Pound Championship, plus other exciting bouts. Christy Martin versus Mia St. John. Live December 6th on Direct Ticket on DirecTV pay-per-view.
The remote control brought a new level of convenience into every household. With this powerful tool, it is just a matter of a few easy steps to order any pay-per-view event or movie. First, make sure your receiver is continuously connected to a land-based phone line. Then go to the 100s, pick the program of your choice, select the buy button, and confirm your purchase. The whole thing takes just a few moments, and you're all set. Say hi to the future.
4:10 to go, first quarter from New Orleans. The Bucs and the Saints, no score. And now New Orleans has to start inside its own 10 against the best defense in the game. McAllister, the deep man in the eye behind Terrell Smith. Brooks. Incomplete. Joe Horn couldn't hold it. Brian Kelly was there defensively, but a pretty throw by Brooks.
I love the call by Mike McCarthy, the offensive coordinator. Brian Kelly's having an all-pro year, and Joe Horn's an all-pro receiver. He just loses sight of this one coming down. Doesn't get his head down to make the play. Brooks makes a nice throw to give him a chance to get out of a hole.
2nd and 10. This defense, number 1 against the pass, number 5 against the run, and number 1 against points. And McAllister leans forward for a yard. More on Deuce. Here's Susan.
Like Jim Haslett recognized something that a lot of other people didn't when he traded Ricky Williams, put the ball in Deuce's hands. Loves his natural speed. He plays with power. Good job blocking, receiving. Williams knocked for not being a big play threat. 3 years in New Orleans, 9 runs of 20 or more yards. Deuce already has 8. Not that Ricky can't get it done. A 53-yard touchdown run earlier this season, and today, TD runs of 45 and 55 yards, 228 yards. A good deal for both teams.
Sure was. 3rd and 8 here. Brooks from the shotgun. Pocket collapsing. Ball floats. and that'll be a safety.
Simeon Rice, I'll tell you what.
2 points for the Buccaneers defense.
And this is a problem that Aaron Brooks has. Aaron Brooks does not step up in a pocket. He fades back. It was the first play of their last meeting. Now look, Aaron Brooks drops back as Kyle Turley is trying to run Simeon Rice around the cup, and he just drops back into him. Again, this is the fault, I believe, of a young quarterback.
Yeah, but when you take a look at the angle that Simeon Rice took for this ball, it was a direct angle. I don't know where the quarterback was supposed to go because they were coming up into his face. Rice gets around and hits his arm.
14.5 sacks for Simeon Rice, 3 of them tonight. The Bucs defense has scored 5 touchdowns this year. They almost got another one. It ends up being a safety. And in this game, who knows? 2-0 might be good enough.
If there's one thing about Aaron Brooks in his maturation as a quarterback, he's going to have to learn that he cannot continue to fade back to try and gain opportunity.
It's going to cost us, T. That's why come.
Terminal for a free information kit. USA Today says public access internet terminals may soon become as common as pay telephones and vending machines. So pick up the phone now. Your future is waiting.
The remote control brought a new level of convenience into every household. With this powerful tool, it is just a matter of a few easy steps to order any pay-per-view event or movie. First, make sure your receiver is continuously connected to a land-based phone line. Then go to the 100s. Pick the program of your choice, select the buy button, and confirm your purchase. The whole thing takes just a few moments, and you're all set. Say hi to the future.
Mike Allstott has scored his 6th touchdown this season, and the Bucs regain the lead 9-6 over the Saints.
Dramatica kicking off.
Dale Carter, we're told, has a left shoulder strain. His return is questionable. Dramatica to kick to Michael Lewis. Line drive, bounding kick. Lewis fields it at the 7. And taken down at the 27.
Sometimes when you blitz, you wind up leaving the middle of the football field open. That's Mike Allstott in the backfield. Here come the blitzers outside. The linebackers lock up. Allstott just finds the hole in the middle. Brad Johnson steps up and delivers the football. Little play action fake. Backers are out. There's Mike. And you were right, Mike. I mean, he's a big guy, but he's really fast.
But one of the things you have to have also is wide receivers blocking downfield. Keyshawn lets one man go and then gets Fred Thomas, who is a corner, the one man that could possibly catch Allstott. He knocks him off. Touchdown.
There's a running back that appreciates what wide receivers can do for you.
Yes, he does.
Most big runs are the result of wide receivers blocking downfield.
And Keyshawn will take punishment going over the middle. Always has. He's a big, tough guy.
It's a lot quieter this trip in.
Well, the Saints just used the timeout to make it even more quiet.
No, I'm talking about Keyshawn. He was a little more reserved.
It's sore ribs. He's hurt.
Sore ribs stop you from talking?
They did him. Maybe.
You got to try getting a sore lip.
I think he is much more at peace with himself right now and with this football team. Well, he was always a guy who was saying, I got to have the ball because I don't see anyone else around here who can do anything. Now he's got some other weapons.
You remember in a Monday night game earlier this year, he blew up at Jon Gruden. And the reason he blew up at him was because Keenan McCardell went in on a certain play, and he wanted to be on the field. And I think everybody now on that sideline understands who's in charge and what their job is.
McAllister trying to take it outside, wrapped up and hitting the backfield. Ball comes loose. Rondé Barber had a shot at it. Now
it's
John
down.
Lynch.
It's down. The ball is down and dead.
And that is not reviewable.
But it sure is going to be interesting to look at.
Warren Sapp pleading his case, but it won't do any good. Would have been a Bucs touchdown.
Here's a look from Skycam. Deuce McAllister trying to get outside this defense, which we know is difficult. He's struggling. He's fighting. He's nowhere near on the ground.
That's a fumble.
There's no question that's a fumble. Yeah, he's sitting. He is sitting on the defender. He is nowhere near on the ground. Chardick Darby. He's sitting on him.
Big break for the Saints. Now Brooks on the run, throws, and ruled incomplete. Joe Horn says he made the catch, but the official who had a good look at it rules incomplete.
You know the thing about McAllister on that play, when you really look at it, there's a forward progress deal that's involved in there, Joe. And if they feel that he can't go any further, I know you don't like it.
No, I don't have a problem with it. That's the way the officials call it. That's fine.
That's what they called. They called forward progress was stopped.
I tell you one thing, the Saints offense has got to slow this train called the Tampa Bay Buc defense down
And now
a little bit right now.
The fans want them to challenge that last play, and here's the red flag. The Saints were out ready to run another play, and the crowd saw it on the Jumbotron here in the stadium.
And evidently somebody upstairs saw the same thing.
Oh, Horn is the only one that knows whether he caught it or not.
And he believes he did.
Mike Carey comes over to talk to Jim Haslett.
The ruling on the field was an incomplete pass being challenged by New Orleans. We'll have a look with instant replay.
So Joe Horn pleads his case enough for Haslett to review it.
Does he get his hands underneath? Yeah, I think he does get his hands underneath.
Okay. Look at the ball.
Does it hit the ground?
The tip of the ball, does it hit the ground? There, yes, it does.
It's on the ground.
It's on the ground.
Went through his hands.
It's on the ground. On the ground.
Good try, though.
I'll tell you the other part. You know where it hits the ground again? Over his back. The tip of the ball is on the ground again. Not there. That other way. Their ball was on the ground. And watch it now. The tip hits the ground again. So it's down twice.
But I think in that case he had control of it, so the ball could hit the ground. It was the first time that makes it incomplete.
But I also think, guys, this plays into the hands of the Saints a little bit. It looks a little bit like a 20-second timeout in basketball. Tampa Bay was just coming after this offense and coming after it. They needed something to slow the momentum down a little bit and settle down a little bit.
Well, if they lose this challenge, it is their last timeout. You can vote with us right now. Log on to ESPN.com or NFL.com. Click on the ETV logo and vote whether this should be upheld or overturned.
All right, I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but vote incomplete.
Thank you for not sharing that with us.
I don't want to influence anybody.
After reviewing the play, the ball slipped through the receiver's hands and hit the ground for an incomplete pass. The ruling of the field stands. New Orleans is charged with their third and final timeout.
You'd have to say
out of challenges for the half.
You would have to say a rather unpopular decision here in New Orleans.
But the correct one.
Yes, it was.
And they're also out of challenges for the half because they have no timeouts. So you can't challenge if you don't have timeouts, even though they have one more in the second half.
But you can get a challenge from the booth inside 2 minutes.
Let's go get him, Joe, with our, we know the rules.
I'm impressed. Now it will be 3rd and 13. 4 wide receivers, and when they spread the field like this, they usually end up one-on-one against Rice and Sapp.
And this is what Simeon Rice lives for, 3rd and 13. There are the sprinters block.
They show blitz and back out of it, and the pass is too high. Intended for Jake Reed, trying to hit him down the seam, and that will bring the punt team on for the Saints. The Bucs are the best in the league, forcing 3 and outs. 45% of the time, the offense runs 3 plays and has to punt.
You have a feeling Warren Sapp knows where the camera is at all times?
Going to kick it away. Carl Williams will make the fair catch at the 40-yard line. Tuesday night on ESPN, it's an ACC Big Ten Challenge. A college basketball doubleheader at 7 Eastern. Number 4 Duke against Ohio State at 9 Eastern. A national championship rematch. Steve Blake at number 11 Maryland against Tom Coverdale at number 20 Indiana. Indiana fresh off that Maui Invitational Championship.
We got another one of those don't go away games.
Oh, yeah.
Don't go anywhere, folks. See, what they ought to do is like skip one of the afternoon games and take a nap so they'll be ready for our game come Sunday night.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
The Saints have been able to move the ball one time tonight. It resulted in a touchdown as they went 80 yards to score. But the Bucs have a touchdown and a safety.
Carter is back in the game.
Brad Johnson to throw. McCardell at the sideline couldn't keep his feet in.
Even though he didn't get that one, he's having himself quite a half. Keenan McCardell, there he is out in the flat. This is the second play of the game. Winds up picking up some yards. Right in the middle, bailing Brad Johnson out. Over on the sideline. You see he's used everywhere. There's some hustle when Brad Johnson was in trouble. Used in a lot of different ways. He's a very veteran receiver and really misses working with home.
Just a wonderful receiver. Nice guy. Got to be happy for his success. There's a flag down on the play. Brad Johnson to Keyshawn. And he's to the Saints' 49-yard line. Now we'll check the penalty flag. Cedric Hodge with another tackle. Michael Pittman is down in the backfield.
There are 2 fouls, both on the defense. Offside, number 94 is declined, and personal foul. Rough 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic.
That's Grady Jackson charged with the personal foul.
That's Cozy Coleman right there. And of course, there's Michael Pittman. We put the big circle on him back. What happens to Pittman is as Coleman and Grady Jackson lowers his head right into the chest of Brad Johnson.
That's got to feel good with broken ribs healing.
You know, that time he hit him in the sternum. So at least it wasn't on the ribs.
Well, you know, we had this discussion with Hazlitt a couple of days ago. They hit him in the head with his hand.
But you can't use your helmet as a weapon. And that's what he did do.
Pittman able to get up and walk off under his own power. 521 yards rushing so far in the season for the speedster who plied his trade at Arizona for 4 years.
Another guy that left Arizona with really good hands. I mean, they've struggled with the running backs out there since Larry Centers left, who had an unbelievable day in Buffalo in that snowstorm, and now Michael Pittman here with Tampa.
A personal foul call moves it all the way down to the 35-yard line. Allstott back in as the single running back, and he'll get the ball. Allstott with those nifty feet takes it outside, picks up 3 to the 32. Darren Smith in on another stop.
You know, it's where do you hit Allstott?
Not there.
You don't hit him low around the legs because he'll run through that part. And then you don't hit him high because then he'll carry it for a while. Now watch Clemens, number 56. Watch this. I'm going to go down here and grab him around his legs. Wrong.
Doesn't even slow him down.
Well, how are you going to get around him?
He didn't slow him down.
His arms weren't long enough to get around.
And then Darren Smith had to help out.
Johnson to throw. Out to the sideline, complete to Jameel Cook. The backup running back, and Brad Johnson, as usual, right on target.
This offense is run like Jon Gruden ran the Oakland offense and called plays. He has a quarterback that can handle it in Brad Johnson, but he uses all his backs. Michael Pittman, Jameel Cook, Mike Allstott. he rotates backs in and out. Whatever they do well, he takes advantage of it, and all of them catch.
Only 14 out of 19 so far. And another first down for Tampa Bay. All stop. Lowers the shoulder and drags Charlie Clemens for another yard. It was interesting when Jon Gruden became the coach of this team. Brad Johnson was the one quarterback he didn't publicly mention. He went out and got Rob Johnson as a free agent, talked about Sean King. You got the idea Brad Johnson was not the #1 guy in his plans. But halfway through the preseason, he says, I've seen enough. This guy's my starter.
But fortunately for Brad Johnson, he was the incumbent from a year ago, and it gave him a little bit of an edge, and he took advantage of that opportunity.
Jon Gruden found out just how good he is. Flag goes down as Brad Johnson tries to call a timeout. I don't know if he made it before the play clock went to 0. Let's go to Susie.
Well, you were talking about Brad Johnson. You know, he wasn't expecting to be endorsed in the preseason. He's always kind of gone through these things. His senior year at FSU, he sat behind Casey Weldon, and his 8 years in the NFL career, he's been through every kind of quarterback. Rich Gannon, Warren Moon, Randall Cunningham, Jay Fiedler, Rodney Peete, Jeff George, Rob Johnson, you name it. And you know what? He expects that there'll be somebody else in Tampa next year. The bottom line, he said, from the start, learn the system inside and out. Everything will take care of itself. And it has here. He's entrenched as the starter now.
Susie, you know, you would think after the year he had in 99 with the Redskins, threw for 4,000 yards, had 24 touchdown passes, was just sparkling all year, that somebody'd go, what have we been missing here?
Well, Daniel Snyder decided he had a fancy for Jeff George.
Yes, he did.
And, you know, Brad Johnson's the guy who threw for that many yards, went to the Pro Bowl, and didn't get rewarded for it.
They had an illegal motion before he called timeout, so they got penalized 5 yards.
2nd and 13. Johnson has to try to scramble, sack at the 25.
Now here's a time when he gets sacked. But you said something, Michael, about him in the first quarter. The defense is crazy. He'll hold the ball longer than most. That time, he held it a little bit too long and then decided to run. But what he did not do is go backwards and take a sack. He's still within field goal range, and that's having great presence on the field.
3rd and 15 as we tick toward 2 minutes. Four-man rush and pressure. And Johnson throws it away.
They got an illegal man downfield.
Cozy Coleman thinks he's a wide receiver running downfield.
Cozy Coleman was down there to 5. I mean, he looked good, though, Joe. Come on.
He did.
Cozy looked good.
He looked like he broke into
But he also looked, that 60 kind of blares at people.
There's the ineligible. This is an interesting decision for Jim Haslett.
Isn't it?
Do you give them an opportunity?
The offense downfield number 60 is declined. 4th down.
No, you don't. You make him kick the field goal here. That's it.
It would be 42 yards from here. And certainly, Gramatica has plenty of leg to reach that. He's hit a 53-yarder this year.
Well, if there's one place that he has struggled, it's from 40 to 49 yards. He's only 5 for 8.
This would make it a 12-6 ball game. Out of the hold of the punter, Tom Tupa. Hit the upright and kicked out.
Don't you love this game? Here it is. Take a look at this ball right there. It really looks like it's in. And then it fades. And then it hits. Goalposts do funny things.
We've reached the 2-minute warning officially at 1:59. It's still a 3-point game.
Do it.
Wait, an electric dog collar? I will never do that. No.
It really doesn't hurt.
We'll tell everyone you did it.
Oh, great. Ooh.
Life is best told over a great tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
You sure it's off?
I promise you,
sure?
it's us. Don't you worry.
Are leaders born, or do they rise out of adversity? At AIG, we believe the greatest risk is not taking one.
Access NFL.com to vote for your favorite NFL All-Stars. The Pro Bowl ballot is online exclusively at NFL.com.
Martin Gramatica hit the upright with a 43-yard field goal try. His club still leads by 3, but New Orleans takes over at its own 33-yard line with 1:59 to go in the half. Brooks goes to the shotgun. Right down the middle, and the ball comes loose after the catch by Payton. They will rule it incomplete, and he was creamed by Dexter Jackson, who is down.
Aaron Brooks does a nice job of stepping up in the pocket and making a perfect throw to Jerome Payton. Payton's got it 1, 2, no. That ball comes out just before that foot gets on the ground.
Boy, he'd take a pop.
There's 1, 2, You have to do something with it after you get both feet down.
Well, he did something with it.
Yeah, you let it go.
Dexter Jackson did something with it.
He almost got torn in half.
And the 4-year veteran from FSU is still down. He has gotten a lot of big hits this year. Maybe even as many as John Lynch, because Lynch has been such a focus for offenses that they've been using Lynch as a decoy and Jackson as the primary guy.
And it's allowed John Lynch to be able to come up late. You really don't have in this defense a strong safety and a weak safety. You have two very big fellas at 6'2" and 220 and 6'1" and 203 who are athletic enough to come up and play the linebacker position. A lot like what they do with Adam Archuleta in St. Louis. Get him up and let him run running backs down.
Jackson able to get up and walk off next Sunday night at 7:30. We hope you'll join Chris Berman and Tom Jackson for NFL Primetime. Then Dante Culpepper, Randy Moss, and the Vikings will go to Green Bay to take on Brett Favre and the Packers on ESPN Sunday Night Football at 8:30 Eastern. I wonder what the temperature will be at kickoff.
I don't care because it's get even night.
That's right.
We are told it is supposed to start snowing in Green Bay about Wednesday. We'll get there Friday, and it's going to be about thigh high, I think.
The Vikes had a chance today to pull one out, and Atlanta made a great comeback.
Michael Vick's pretty good, isn't he? Brooks airs one out for Stallworth. Tremendous coverage by Dwight Smith, who was with him stride for stride.
You know, when you watch a game like this and you read about the defenses, you know that Tampa Bay is #1 in New Orleans. They're very good at what they do. You expect a game like this. You know, you really don't expect a big play. And the one big play that we've had in this ball game is Allstott's run. It's the only one.
Well, it was the same thing that happened for Tampa in the first game. They had one big pass play and one big run play. But a game that's got this good a defenses, you don't expect more.
3rd and 10, they show blitz and they come. Brooks unloads the screen to McAllister. Nice call against the blitz, but McAllister will be stopped short of the first down. Derrick Brooks, the all-pro outside linebacker, caught him and brought him down after a gain of 8.
What a job by Derrick Brooks. It's the perfect call on a blitz. And he's the one that runs it down. Number 55. Here they come. There comes the blitz. There he is. He's weeding around. Look at him from behind. He makes the play after he puts pressure on the quarterback, turns around to make the play.
And Tampa takes one of their timeouts before the punt because they have 1 minute and 37 seconds.
Tampa Bay on top. 9-6. You talked about that first game. Here's the way it ended in overtime. Saints punter Tom Tupa, or rather Bucs punter Tom Tupa, sensing a block, tries to throw a pass, but James Allen is there for the interception, the automatic touchdown, and the win. It was only the 4th interception in the end zone in the last 70 years of the National Football League.
Tom Tupa actually is their 3rd quarterback. I was talking to him on the field before the game. He said, Joe, I got to run. I have to go warm my arm up.
He's not left-handed, though, is he?
No.
Oh, I just wondered because that pass he threw was left-handed.
Carl Williams is deep. Takes it on 2 hops. And is swarmed under at the 21, a 3-yard return after a punt of 43. Still plenty of time to go in the first half. 1:27 left and a timeout for Tampa Bay.
I expect Brad Johnson to spread this ball out all over the place. Normally, the way the Tampa Bay Bucs will start this offense under Jon Gruden will be with a couple of slants by the wide receivers. Then they'll try and hit a fullback or someone over the middle. And what they'll do is methodically try and take 6, 7, 8 yards till they get around the 45-yard line, and then they'll try to throw some deeper balls. That's been the way that Jon Gruden has run his 2-minute offenses.
And then on 4th down, they'll punt.
I forgot. They also use a timeout in there somewhere.
3 wide receiver formation. Pittman is the running back. And Pittman will get it on the draw. Breaks the tackle, takes it out to the 29-yard line. See, so many teams do that. If they can break one for 20, 25 yards and get themselves pretty decent position, they'll open it up a little.
As much pressure as New Orleans likes to bring, it's a good call against them.
2nd and 2, clock approaching a minute. Johnson has already hit 70%, goes to Pittman, and he'll lose a yard.
Nice play by Darren Smith, the outside backer. 10 years in the league, has a couple of interceptions, and that time he just wraps up Michael Pittman, doesn't allow him to get the first down.
They're going back in the huddle and run some clock off. I'm going to disagree with you. I don't like that draw play. You have 1 minute and 30-some seconds. You run a draw play. If you're going to run that draw play, then call a timeout after that. But don't run a draw play. Go up to the line of scrimmage, take a snap. They're down inside of, they're getting inside of 30 seconds now. They're just going to run the clock out.
Well, once the draw play only got 10, I think they just decided,
yeah, it's over.
We're going to go to the locker room with this lead. If they throw, it'll be safe. Instead, Pittman will carry. The Saints do not have a timeout to stop it. And the Bucs are going to let the clock run out. 9-6 may sound like a battle of field goals, but we haven't had one in this game. 9-6 at the half. Let's go to Susie.
John, it's a battle. How do you keep from getting your quarterback beat up?
It's a hard thing in this league, isn't it? I tell you, we're in a tight game. We know it's going to be that way when we play the Saints. We got a long way to go.
You've already got a poster of Simeon Rice up in your son's room tonight. 3 sacks, a forced fumble. How much does this guy impress you?
Well, he's a great player, and we're going to need him to play that way in the second half. But I think his play speaks for itself.
Thanks, John.
All right, thank you, Susie. Our score here at the Superdome, the Bucs 9, the Saints 6. Let's join Chris Berman for the Toyota Halftime Show.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. We come roaring into the month of December with a couple things certainly resolved in the NFC, a little bit the AFC. Your guess is as good as ours. Bob Seger working on mysteries without any clues. Certainly, Tampa Bay fans and New Orleans fans are looking to wonder if Atlanta is ever going to lose again. Answer, maybe not. Here we go. The last time the Falcons lost was to the Buccaneers the first week in October. They were tied once, but their unbeaten streak remains at 8 now, or moves to 8 as Michael Vick, he can throw too, to Brian Finneran beginning, and we're tied at 14. Vicks runs, wants the Vikings, slam into each other, we're tied at 21. Minnesota thinks they've won the game when Randy Moss hits Dante Culpepper in the final minute for a touchdown. But an illegal formation penalty nullifies the touchdown, has him go to a field goal, and then in overtime, here's Vick. 40. Whoop! He's at Mach 6. Bang! Go the Viking defenders again. 173 yards rushing for Vick. That's the quarterback record. The Falcons win 30-24. Wild play, end of the first half. Frozen tundra, Lambeau Field. The Bears, Damon Moore picks off Brett Favre. Tries to keep the play going. Whoop! The Packers get it. Whoop! Then the Bears get it. And it's Roosevelt Williams. But he's going to be tackled by the rookie, Javon Walker. That's not 84 Sterling Sharp, it's Walker. And so it keeps the pack within reach. Favre to Bubba Franks. The Packers win the Norris for the first time in 5 years, beating the Bears 30-20. In a defensive struggle and a battle of turnovers, the only touchdown, the Eagles, Bobby Taylor, interception. Eagles are 9-3. They beat the Rams 10-3. Garrison Hurst, 3 touchdowns. Niners ahead of Seattle. Matt Hasselbeck throws for over 400 yards, but Rashad Holman the pick. Niners beat the Seahawks 31-24. Ricky Williams set a record for the Miami Dolphins with 228 yards rushing. The Dolphins led in snowy Buffalo 14-3, but the Bills then outscored them 35-7. Drew Bledsoe, Eric Moles, Buffalo, a 4-team race now in the AFC East, 38-21. Quietly, those Indianapolis Colts could get home field advantage. Peyton Manning touchdown pass to Marcus Pollard. They win over the Texans 19-3. Seconds to go. Steve McNair to Frank Wycheck. Touchdown. McNair, 2-point conversion. And the Titans have tied it in New York, and in overtime, Joe Nedney wins it with a 38-yard field goal. Steelers, Jeff Reed kicked 6 field goals, tying Gary Anderson's team mark. Jacksonville coming back, but Dwayne Washington breaks up a 2-point conversion. Steelers win 25-23. Meanwhile, Cleveland shocked by Carolina. Reggie Howard drops it. Tevin Johnson hoping for a touchdown. Play, they review. It's an incomplete pass. And the next play, Cleveland's Tim Couch going to be picked off by Emmanuel McDaniel. For the first time since 2000, the Panthers have won a game other than in the summer. They win 13-6. Priest Holmes took half a day off. The Chiefs embarrassed the Cardinals 49-0. Worst beating that franchise has had in its 82-year history. And the Bengals just cannot win. They're about to go up by 2 touchdowns on Baltimore. Instead, John Kitna picked off by Chad Williams at the end of the first half. Ravens make the Bengals 1-11, beating them 27-23. Our game of the day coming up.
This halftime show is
offense in the National Football League in the first half against the #1 defense in the league. They've been held to 6 points. Defense usually beats offense. It is right now.
Well, you're going to find out in this second half. One of these two are going to blow up. Maybe for only one play, but it's going to be a blow up.
Well, if anybody's going to blow up, it's probably going to be at the hands of Simeon Rice. He's had an unbelievable half. He's forced a fumble. He's put him out of field goal range. I mean, he alone really has been responsible for 5 points. 3 that the Saints might have gotten, and the 2 with the sack. He's been a one-man wrecking crew for this offense. But in Kyle Turley's defense, the guy that has to block him, this is the guy, Aaron Brooks, that has to make better decisions with the football. He did in the second quarter. He's going to have to keep it up.
The Saints gained a mere 83 yards in the first half. Most of it coming on one drive. The result of their only touchdown. Lewis knocked out of bounds by Gramatica. Moments ago, Susie Culber had a chance to catch up with Jim Haslett.
Jim, how do you neutralize Simeon Rice?
Well, the big thing is we got to stay out of position where it's 3rd and long, and we're just taking advantage of what he does best, and that's pass rush. So right now, field position is hurting us, and if we can get that changed with this opening kickoff, we'll be fine.
Thanks, Coach.
So they'll spot the ball at the 46. Good field position for the Saints to start the second half. What do you do differently on offense to try to at least neutralize that defense?
Well, I think the Saints have moved the football. They've made some poor decisions on either end. I think you go back to running Deuce McAllister up the middle. You have to pound Deuce, and then Aaron come up with a big play. Mike McCarthy, their offensive coordinator, is not going to back off. I think the Saints have to stay aggressive.
McAllister's been their big weapon, 46 yards on 10 carries. And he gets it on the little crossbutt and picks up 2 to the 49-yard line where Warren Sapp brought him down. McAllister missed last week with a bad ankle and comes up a little gimpy after that tackle.
Yeah, unless Deuce McAllister is at full speed, he hurts this offense because everyone knows on the defense if he's hurting, when you fake to him, it doesn't make any difference. You're not going to give him the ball. So now they really have a problem. You get away from all the play fakes and just go back and throw the ball if you're going to throw it.
No, I think you got to count on the young guy, James Fenderson, who's right there to play for you.
First-year player out of Hawaii, Brooks, backs up against pressure and throws incomplete right in the hands of Terrell Smith, and the fullback couldn't hold it. Fenderson and Curtis Keaton split the running back duties a week ago and did not produce a whole lot.
Well, here's the situation every single coach is talking about, the fact that you're third and long, you don't have much of a chance.
No, you always hear coaches say we got to stay out of 3rd and 7, but when they talk about playing against Tampa, they say we've got to stay out of 3rd and 7.
3rd and 4 becomes a problem.
Yeah.
And there's one of the problems.
Simeon Rice will get in that track stance and ready to come, and flags go down. They had Brooks blitzing on that play, and if they hadn't blown it dead, Aaron Brooks would have gotten a face full of 55.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5 yards. It remains 3rd down.
Spencer Folau, the right tackle, moved early.
The architect of this defense, the Tampa Bay Bucs defense, is their defensive coordinator, Monty Kiffin. He was there before Jon Gruden got there, and he and Rod Marinelli, their defensive line coach, got together in the offseason, realizing they were coming into a division where there was a Michael Vick, who they'll face next week, and an Aaron Brooks, and had to devise ways to be able to control the running of the quarterbacks. I'd say they get A's for their marks in the offseason.
3rd and long. 4-man rush. Brooks steps up in the pocket this time and rifles one. Horn wide open. Horn to the 5, pushed out of bounds by Rondé Barber.
You know what starts this whole thing? The fact that he had time to throw the ball. And when you have time to throw the ball, you're going to find some people open, especially a guy like Joe Horn. And the protection was perfect. He did the thing that he didn't do in the first half. He stepped up into the pocket to deliver the ball.
You just can't assume that you can't throw the football against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You have to prove to them it can get done. The linebackers are up around the line of scrimmage, and then they bail. 4-man rush. Good job by the offensive line. Brian Kelly allows Joe Horn to get on top, and they wind up with the big completion.
1st and goal. McAllister is back in there running gingerly up the middle, and John Lynch just came sailing in from that safety spot and made a tackle. But that 1-yard rush gives McAllister 1,000 yards for the season.
I personally don't think that the Saints will be able to run the football in. I think Deuce is hurt just enough that he can't make the sudden cut that he needs. A good play-action pass right here, or get Aaron Brooks on the edge, would give him an opportunity.
Only one wide receiver, and that's Horn. And Brooks throws this one out of the back of the end zone, and he is down, and Warren Sapp flattened it. And Simeon Rice was right there as well. I mean, the pressure is just relentless from 97 and 99.
There was Simeon Rice on the top, Warren Sapp on the bottom. That's like dissecting a person.
Now, I talked about him not backing up, but when you've got Warren Sapp coming at you and Simeon Rice coming from behind you, there's really nowhere to go.
Now 3rd and goal.
Duck is good.
Floats it over the middle. Touchdown! Caught by Jake Reed. And John Lynch says no way.
They're going to review this. There will be a challenge by the Tampa Bay Bucs. I think you challenge it no matter what. The question is, does he have possession with his feet in? Brooks lays it up. He makes the catch. He's got both feet in. Comes down with the ball out of bounds.
It's touchdown.
Touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
Oh, what a play.
Now what? They knocked the ball back into him. He's got the ball. Both feet are down. He's got control of the football. That's touchdown.
Even though John Lynch has his hands on it, actually it's Rondé Barber that has his hands on it, it doesn't matter. That's a touchdown.
Pathon is the guy, his own man knocked the ball back into his chest that helped him catch the football.
Does that go into catching in a crowd? Would that fall under that category?
And throwing in a crowd?
Actually led it real well.
There was a large group at the back of the end zone for that one.
There is no challenge.
John Lynch looking to the sideline, and right now there's not going to be. If they snap the ball, there cannot be a challenge. They do, and the point after is good.
They saw the same replay we did.
Good decision by Tampa Bay not to blow a timeout to challenge a call they weren't going to win. And a good job by New Orleans as they grab the lead over the Bucs.
Right now, fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by December 12th. So get packing.
You are now free to move about the country.
When you need a cup of some sugar ramen.
Sugar ramen?
Yeah, soup.
Freeze. A call to the library could help her out. Good thing T-Mobile lets her call whenever she wants. Go.
Says here, pour some sugar on me. I'm hot, sticky, sweet.
The most whenever minutes, free long distance and roaming. Only from T-Mobile.
Get more.
Take all the time you want, folks.
We'll take this one in red.
Beautiful choice, sir.
No, black.
Black. That's actually my favorite color.
Red. Definitely red.
With Microsoft Server software, you can quickly connect with customers. That's software for the agile business from Microsoft.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
I'll tell you, this is a game of yards.
ESPN Sunday Night Football is brought to you by T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service. Microsoft, makers of software for the agile business. MasterCard, there are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. And Walmart, always low prices. Always. Aerial coverage courtesy of Southwest Airlines from the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana. Jake Reed, one of the veterans brought in to give this young team some leadership and big plays as well. He did on that one. Stecker, ball came loose, but it looked like Stecker's progress had been stopped. Let's see how they call it. We had one of these earlier.
I think it's a fumble. I believe it's a fumble.
Nobody blew a whistle. Now they're talking to each other. Did you blow a whistle? Did you blow a whistle? Did you blow a whistle? I don't have a whistle.
This should be New Orleans football because there was no whistle blown.
But they can still determine his forward progress was stopped.
That's, I don't, we've already had one of those tonight that I sort of bought into, but you're going to have a tough time selling me on a kickoff this
all right,
one.
Let me try to sell you some more. Ready? Listen to me now.
I'm listening.
I tell you what, if there were no whistles blown, this is a fumble.
And Steve Gleason is the injured player.
Because there was nobody down.
I can't wait to hear the explanation.
Okay, here we go.
There's Stecker. Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
He's running. His feet are still moving.
Forward.
His feet are still moving. Is his knee on the ground? You can't tell.
Well, they have not made a call on the field yet.
Here's another look from a little bit higher. You've got the tackle. Can't tell.
Covered by New Orleans. First down.
And they rule it is a fumble, and the Saints have the football. James Allen covered it.
And if Tampa Bay would choose to challenge in this instance, there aren't enough views to be able to call it indisputable evidence to change the call on the field.
Certainly nothing that we've seen so far, and Jon Gruden really upset.
I'd say that second one was the one that was close, as if his knee was on the ground. If his knee was down, then he's down.
That's the problem I had with the first call on Deuce McAllister, saying that his progress had stopped.
Stecker was the injured player after that tackle. You saw him get doubled over.
Take a look at here now. Can you see a knee if he's on the ground? He's actually sitting on James Allen.
Well, James Allen had a big part in the first victory for the Saints.
Sure did.
When he intercepted a Tom Tupa pass. Now here he is making a big play on the kickoff return. And Jon Gruden, the least happy person in this building. And Jim Haslett breathes a sigh of relief. This game is huge for the New Orleans Saints, especially in this division where they're chasing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
If they win tonight, they would get to within one game of the top and own the tiebreaker because they would have swept the season series.
And remember also, Tampa plays Atlanta next week.
Hold on a minute, boys. Tampa's offense is back out on the field. They're looking at it. The offense has come out. I mean, that's just. I mean, they've been told to go out.
This is neat. You've got two offenses on the field right now. This is going to be like a battle of long passes. I'll go with Aaron Brooks on that.
I agree. I don't think that there is enough to overturn anything.
I like the way Jon Gruden thinks, though. Put your offense out there.
Here is another shot of this thing now. Is he on the ground? Is he down? The ball is still there.
His knee
is not on the ground.
His knee never hits the ground. That's unbelievable. Allen's arm keeps it from getting to the ground.
This is New Orleans ball.
It should be. Let's not assume that until Mike Carey comes out from under the hood.
I'm assuming.
You are?
Well, unless you.
Well, instead of assuming, you can vote. Log on to ESPN.com or NFL.com. Click on the ETV logo. Watch this replay one more time.
Look at his knee. His knee never hits the ground. Actually, it still never hits the ground. It's right on James Allen's forearm.
Okay.
Well, see, this is to me where I think instant replay has such value in a game.
Don't take a game away from somebody. This can save it.
Right. Don't take a play away.
After reviewing the play, before the runner's knee hit the ground, the ball came loose. Fumble on the field is correct. First down, New Orleans. Tampa Bay is first charge. Team timeout.
So the Bucs lose the ball and a timeout.
And this is where I think Aaron Brooks now has to be composed, control what you want to do, and go forward and not make a mistake. Don't try and press it, but don't make a mistake.
I agree with you. Touchdown is just beautiful. But coming out of here with at least a field goal is mandatory.
I think you take a shot right here. I think if you're Mike McCarthy, the offensive coordinator of the Saints, you don't hand it off to Deuce. You take a shot.
Play action blitz coming, hit from behind, loose ball. And the Bucs got it back, recovered by Greg Spikes after Al Singleton knocked it loose.
Simeon Rice. Simeon Rice.
I like the call. But boy, did they come around the corner.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's I called the wrong guy. I saw Simeon Rice in the same position, but that was just outstanding by the linebacker.
Back-to-back turnovers. Bucs have it back.
Now, youth players and coaches can learn football from the NFL with the Junior Player Development Interactive DVD Kit. To register to get your kit, go to NFLYouthFootball.com.
Hey, I'm on my new phone. Of course it's a Motorola. I own Motorola.
I got a mega VIP, owner of Motorola.
What?
Okay, we have a code 3 VIP. Food, penthouse, lobby, go, go, go.
Yeah.
You need anything, just let me know.
Make sure the room's ready.
I got the room!
I don't know what they are.
What do you want?
They took the cake at the wedding.
Eagle has landed.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good. You know I've admired your work.
Which what? Wowie zowie.
Mr. Chairman, I presume?
I'm Mike. I just got off the shuttle.
Ownership. It's for everybody. At Ameritrade, everything you need to trade, all for $10.99. Every online equity trade, no matter how many shares you buy. 80 million Americans have a share. Ameritrade. What's your share? Open an account at Ameritrade.com and get 25 commission-free internet equity trades.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, but you know that. You've seen the movie 87 times. Tune to the 100s. Check out Blockbuster pay-per-view movies. You might enjoy a film that you don't already know the words to. Seriously. And don't call me Shirley.
Flip through the 100s and choose from over 60 of the latest releases each month on Blockbuster pay-per-view movies. Only on DirecTV.
It has been a game of big hits and critical turnovers. Tampa Bay has the ball back at its own 33. Pittman behind Allstott.
Deuce McAllister having a sore ankle doesn't only affect his running but also his pass blocking. Watch up to the left. You see from our sky cam as McAllister goes, he checks inside on Lynch, tries to come back on Singleton, and just really has no way to push out. There it is again, little inside. He can't get that foot to push out to even get a hand on Singleton as he forces the fumble.
Somebody rolled up on his ankle earlier in this game, the already sore ankle, who kept him out a week ago. Johnson under pressure from behind. He loses the ball. And then Brad Johnson covers up at the 15. Darren Howard, for the second time, came around the corner to shake it loose.
Well, you know what we're really seeing? We're seeing so much speed from the outside. Not so much inside, but the outside speed. Defensive ends and linebackers.
Does this remind you of the Miami Dolphins Denver Broncos game we did a couple of weeks ago? Terrific job by the people coming around the corners.
What's Darren Howard? Look at this. He just blows by Roman Oben, and they had no chance.
He's had 6 sacks in his last 7 games. 3rd and a mile. Pittman stuffed at the 20.
Now, I like that call.
That's smart.
Yeah, because when you look at their boards, there's no play for 3rd and 80.
Well, against this defense, you know pressure's going to come, so nobody's going to get down the field for 81 yards, right?
I don't think so.
Now Tupou will have to punt it away to Michael Lewis.
The Saints put a lot of pressure on Tupou in that first game.
Oh, nice kick.
But returnable. Lewis from the 25. Has the seam. Lewis caught from behind by Todd Yoder. And if Yoder doesn't make the tackle, it's a touchdown. As it is, it's a 66-yard return.
I'll tell you one thing, though. Tom Tupou did the one smart thing he could do. And that's he knows he would have been beaten to the inside. So what he does is going to force him to the outside, to the middle of the field. Watch this. Tupou right here is going to force him in the middle where he has some help. And that saves the touchdown.
And the way Tampa Bay's defense has been playing in the red area, you'd have to give Yoder any kind of an assist if they can come up big here now.
That's why you want to never see guys quit on a play. He came a long way to make that tackle.
Any bets they come out and run this one?
McAllister is still there, bad ankle and all. And he'll get it from the 20. Trying to pick his way, not much there. Warren Sapp with the tackle. In Week 6 at Washington, the Saints' Michael Lewis became only the 7th player in history to return a punt and a kickoff for a touchdown in the same game. He shook loose for a 90-yard kickoff return, then had a punt return 83 yards in the 3rd quarter. He had 286 total return yards in that game.
He's lit it up here today. I mean, We talked about it. Jim Haslett said our special teams are great because we're fast. And he's right.
McAllister dives forward to the 14. Lewis is a guy who is a former beer truck driver who played everywhere he could possibly play to get an opportunity. Saw an ad in the paper for tryouts for the Arena League. Did not play in college. And now he's gone from being a beer truck driver and going to every audition you could think of to being one of the most dangerous return men in the game.
He delivered beer faster than any human being in America.
And he replaced a guy here by the name of Chad Morton, who's done a pretty good job for the Jets, has returned a couple of kicks for touchdowns.
Big play here, 3rd and 4. Brooks rolls away from pressure, throws to the end zone, touchdown. Caught by Joe Horn, and he was wide open.
Oh, Brian Kelly took the big bite and got left in the dust.
Go ahead, Joe.
Take it, Paulie.
You know, when you get out, you roll out to the right-hand side, but look what happens. Look how wide open Horn is because Kelly takes the bite right here.
Oh, what a beautiful move.
That really is. I mean, there a defensive back is going to grab you and stop you from getting up the field. Joe Horn's strong enough to make the spin move and get in the end zone.
That was absolutely perfect execution by Joe Horn. Wide open, Aaron Brooks hit him, and John Carney adds the point after. In a game of huge plays, the third quarter's been full of them, and the Saints have a 20-9 lead.
The city, how romantic.
Trip to the city of your choice for 8. Free.
Come along, boys.
Shopping. Free.
Just a few more blocks.
Entertainment. Free.
No cats in this one, right?
I don't think so.
Time with people who make you feel warm and fuzzy. Priceless.
Let's go. Drive fast.
Use your MasterCard and you could win a getaway with people you're closest to in our Priceless Memories sweepstakes.
We have a wonderful customer here at Walmart who is also the town Santa. He came up with an idea called Ho-Ho Express. Santa raises money throughout the year with help from us here at Walmart. These are children that might not have any presents under the tree. They could spend their money on themselves, but most of the time they buy for their family.
I got my mom a candle.
It's them being able to put something under the Christmas tree for them to open on Christmas Day when they wouldn't have anything.
I believe in Santa.
It's just wonderful to give them a Christmas like that.
I know he's real.
Introducing the Bowflex Ultimate. Quite possibly the best home fitness machine ever made. Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. Own the new Bowflex Ultimate with no money down and monthly payments lower than many health club dues. Call and ask for a free video and brochure or visit us on the web today. The new Bowflex for ultimate results.
In 1954, Paul Bear Bryant put 115 football players through hell. But those who survived lived to become champions. The Junction Boys, Saturday, December 14th, 9 p.m. on ESPN.
Joe Horn getting congratulations on the sideline after that beautiful pattern that he ran and beat one of the best, Brian Kelly.
He's over there by that offensive line. He's letting them know how much he appreciates what they did for Aaron Brooks, giving him a chance. And Warren Sapp's looking around going, what has happened to us? This team came in, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, defensively with a lot of swagger.
It's a team that averages 11 points a game on defense, but the Saints have scored 46 in 2 games. The ball's loose again. Fumbled by Dwight Smith, and now the battle is on at the bottom of the pile.
This is a question of who's stronger at the bottom of the pile. You better hope it's a linebacker wrestling for it.
No signal yet.
Ken Irvin feels like it's going to be the Saints' ball.
But Mike Carey says it belongs to the Buccaneers.
And Mike Carey would normally win.
Man, did that baby come shooting out. Watch how fast this thing comes out. Hit, ball.
Smith was back there because Aaron Stecker, who's 4th in the league in returns, was injured the last time he had the ball.
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily say for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that this is their strong suit, to be able to drop back and cheat up chunks of yards. I don't think they have to change their game plan. I think they have to be methodical with 8:49 left in the third quarter and work to get 2 scores. And also remember, the Saints went for a 2-point conversion after their first touchdown.
In the past, this was a team that could not come from behind. They've done it 4 times this year when they were down 6 or more. Brad Johnson, quick throw to McCardell. And McCardell fighting for extra yards to the 41.
I want to take you back to that touchdown pass from Aaron Brooks to Joe Horn. There's Joe Horn lined up outside. That's Brian Kelly. He's going to be right in Horn's hip pocket. He starts up, makes a little hook inside, and goes up the field. The thing that's impressive about this is as close as Joe Horn is to the sidelines, Brian Kelly can't force him out. If that was the case, he would not have been able to have a legal catch.
8:16 to go, third quarter. Allstott in at running back. Brad Johnson, short set, complete to McCardell. Again, his 8th catch of the night, but hit immediately by Charlie Clemens.
You know, when you look at this Tampa Bay offense, and for years it was always the defense that kept them in the ball games, and we're going to go to the Super Bowl with the defense. Well, this year, you know, the offense with Gruden was going to improve. But the biggest improvement in the offense has not been their scoring power. They're not, you know, kicking field goals. Their biggest improvement was holding on to the ball, running some clock off, getting their defense some rest, and then maybe getting a field goal.
Johnson under pressure again, hit from behind as he throws, and Dilger, the tight end, makes the catch, his first grab of the night, but it's another first down. And coming hard from the outside one more time was Darren Howard.
And I believe that Ken Dilger can be a big plus for this offense in this game. Take the wide receivers, the corners, and spread them out, and let Dilger be the guy. Last year he was in the Pro Bowl. Spent 7 years in Indy, was unceremoniously let go and told him they didn't need his services anymore. He's a great blocker, but he has excellent hands. Also can throw the football, given the opportunity.
Tampa Bay, 2 straight first downs. Johnson to throw again. Rifles one. McCardell down to the 34-yard line. His 9th grab of the night. Ken Irvin is in there, and 100 yards tonight for Keenan McCardell.
You know, you don't do anything for 2.5 quarters, but you don't get away from what you came in here with. And that's what these guys are doing. They're very patient, Tampa, and just taking now what the Saints are giving them.
But I think on this particular play right here, you have to be careful if you're the New Orleans Saints. You don't want to be too aggressive, because all you need to do is bring some linebackers. Last time that happened, Mike Allstott went about 45 yards for a touchdown.
It's 2nd and inches. They give it to the battering ram, and he dances through trouble to get the first down. Let's check in with Susie.
Well, Mike, Keenan McCardell having such a great night tonight and so much a part of this offense. You know what he misses the most? He misses his pal from Jacksonville, Jimmy Smith, and he misses him most during pregame warm-ups. The two would spend time in the locker room, warm up, ride the bike, have deep, long conversations. It's something he doesn't have here with Keyshawn Johnson, because they kind of do their own thing. But the one thing they are on the same page about is getting this offense going, and you constantly see them on the sideline talking about things, adjustments they could make. You can tell it works tonight.
McCardell's been a great addition, Susie. Brad Johnson in trouble. Dumps it underneath, and Jameel Cook drops it past. That's the 2nd time he has dropped one right in the breadbasket.
To me, that's got to be one of the more frustrating things for a quarterback. Here you are waiting and waiting and waiting. You know you're going to get hammered, and you throw to the only guy that's open, and he doesn't catch it.
Well, I'll tell you something about Jon Gruden. The thing is if guys don't start holding on to the football, he's not going to see a whole lot of the football field, because John's all about production, and he's got enough running backs to rotate through there that Jameel Cook could wind up watching a lot of football.
The Bucs have done a better job protecting Brad Johnson tonight than they did in the first meeting, but he's still getting hit. And this one is wide of Keyshawn Johnson with Ken Irvin on him.
Keyshawn was open. He had Carter on him, but Keyshawn was open. That ball was thrown just a tad too wide. Here it comes. Watch this. He goes to the inside. That's Kenny Irvin on, I'm sorry. But Keyshawn, that ball could have been caught had it been in his hands. It was way too far outside.
Big third down for both. I think the Bucs offensively, they've got to figure out a way to keep this drive alive.
They have only converted 1 out of 8 third downs tonight. Brad Johnson, here comes the rush. Throws back against the grain, and McCardell nearly made a sensational catch.
How Cedric Hodge, number 52, didn't get a hand on that shocks me. Brad Johnson making the cardinal sin, throwing back into the middle of the field. You should never do this. Cedric Hodge is up 4 miles, and Keenan McCardell almost makes a spectacular one-handed reception. He's expecting to get hit, I think.
Now